of the talk about how in the book, The Northwest Passage, they had to walk through like miles and miles of swampland. Not even in Florida, like, where were they? Missouri? Somewhere like that, Kansas, I don't know, somewhere north of Kansas, Tennessee, Virginia. But we've drained a lot of the swamps. We try to make things clear cut. You either got water or you don't. You got either water or dry land. None of this marshy area. Humans don't like marshy areas. We want cut and dry land or water. Nothing in between. No muddy areas, because our boats can't go through them, our cars can't go through them. We need a definite surface that we can use, that we can design our technology around better. And muddiness, we really haven't, you know, we would, if we figured out technology for the perfect vehicle for mud, maybe we would encourage more mud areas. But then again, you know, we gotta walk through it, and that's no fun. Muddy villages are no fun. Mucky, muddy. Dryness is always what we default prefer. I was kind of interested in somewhere to stop on the way, but I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. Oh geez, this guy's going really slow. Oh, okay, I don't know if I should try to zoom in on that. There's this bridge that you can actually raise, and they raised a portion of it, so I'm guessing it's not being used at all if a portion of it is up. So that means it's blocked off right there, and it can't be a driving bridge. It's hard to see. You gotta really pull up to it. Okay, there we go. See it a little bit. That's pretty cool. So it's up in one section. That's a unique design I have never seen in my life. That's a unique design. It's like, it's well, no, it's not optional anywhere. It's only optional in that section to open. And it's currently open, so it's not crossable. Does it just stay open because it's not used at all? Seems that the engineers have pretty much settled on just making the bridges extremely high, or maybe dredging the water very low, and then just pretty much designing boats so they don't have to take up so much airspace anyway. In the early days, I'm sure they had a lot of problems with the height issues, but now it's become more standardized after enough accidents. So there's a Solilo Park and Deschutes State Park. They seem to lose a little power at times. It's a little concerning. Yeah, I got a long ways to go here. I'm not enthused about this drive. There's not much going on the landscape. It's a nice river. You don't see Indian villages hanging out. I'm going too slow for people, huh? Maybe I'll pick up the pace a little. So here, I guess they built the road onto an island. That's probably an island right here. And they just decided, instead of building a road on the outskirts, Big 7 Pendleton 113, LeGrand 163. They say where the city I'm going is, Arlington. Or even, how about Umatilla? I know it's just pretty much a matter of following the river. If I get away from the river, then I've pretty much made a wrong turn. It's all reliant on being right along the river. And there's a road on the other side I could have taken. I could have crossed the bridge and headed over on the other side and just followed the river too. It's pretty neat they made a river on both sides. I don't know, oh, there's a tunnel up there for the train. So they go through that. That's kind of neat. That'd be neat to walk through. And they got two train tracks on my right. One that goes through that tunnel and then one alongside the road here. Yeah. Just all up in there. The river's still on the right a little bit. Just carrying on. It curves quite a bit. The wind is pretty hard. It's supposed to be a cooler day today. It rained a little last night. I closed my windows. I can't say it got chilly. It just got cool last night. The weather cooled down and I put a blanket on. I put the blanket on loosely. I didn't really have to tuck it around my whole body. I think a mosquito got into my car last night, entering Sherman County. So that was troublesome, but it didn't seem to do much. It just bothered me once. I swatted at it, and then the problem seemed to have gone away. But I know it's going to get worse. I'm looking for a net. Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area. Yeah, I'm looking for a mosquito. Some farming going on. I think it's grapes. They're growing grapes on the Columbia River. You could grow a wide variety of things, I'm guessing. Even though trees don't do so well naturally out here. As you can see on the hillside, there's just not a single tree. And over there, low-growing shrubs. That's the gist of it. Low-growing shrubs. It's tough. This is a tough weather condition area. So I could see why civilization isn't really spending a lot of time. Being reliant on fish is, yeah, going to be your primary food source. Because what else can grow and thrive out here? The dry conditions are great, but then you got to think about the heat. Well, you got to think about just the lack of vegetation and animals. I mean, there are some farm plots, people with the grapes and stuff. Can you survive on grapes very long? I don't know what kind of plants do well out here. It's something to study. Things are going to get plenty of sun and heat and will dry out if you don't water them enough. Which I'm sure there's enough water being pumped from the Columbia River. But also the natural spring sources underground. I'm sure those are options. They put a lot of these windmills up. I don't know if those can be shown. I don't know if I want to zoom. I'm not about to zoom. No way. I'm just going to make the mental notes that this mountainside in Washington on the other side of the Columbia is just full of windmills. It's like 50 windmills. And it's windy out and they are spinning. Not very fast. I don't believe that they're generating a lot of power. Wherever that power is going, it'd be interesting. I guess they could get away with doing it with the windmills out here. There's just not a lot of wildlife in general. So you're not going to have issues with plants. Mary Hill Museum. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Lewis and Clark stopped every 10 miles, it seemed, on the Columbia River. Although on the way back, I questioned what was going on, because I get the impression that they probably preferred walking. You know, they could ride the Columbia River to the mouth at the ocean, but then coming back they got to go against the water. It's probably more desirable to walk instead of paddle against the water. And it sounded like they were really big on trying to get horses heading back, and they took a different route and split up too. But I just haven't really studied that map close enough. They always have these big maps that you can't really get good detail on. Like, I'd like to have a topographical map with good detail. I could zoom in on the exact, well, that's the thing, it's a generalized trail. We don't know exactly where they stepped, we have a good general idea where they walked. Yakima and Bend's take a right. Yakima and Bend, I've been to both. They're both very different from each other, different cities. Why is this so artistic up here? Journey Through Time? Is this a city? Why would they do that? Are there that many people walking around here? Columbia River is nice. Maybe there's a tour guide around somewhere. For those bridges, they generally don't put any kind of cage to prevent people from looking over or jumping over. They don't do that unless they're in big cities. Small cities, you know, the bridge is barely used, so why put the investment in? But they did it here. Rufus, Pendleton, Baker City. Baker City, 200 miles. Where is Baker City? 200 miles from here? You know, I've probably been to Baker City. It seems kind of familiar, but I can't picture it. Is it south of Umatilla? I went through that area in the winter, like in the dead of winter. It's really cold. Kind of foolish to stick around. I travel so slowly, and then I get caught in the snow or I get caught in the summer. I'm trying to put a balance to my travels. I don't like skipping through too many cities, but the weather, you know, I got to deal with that harsh weather at times. And it's